Hey guys, today I wanted to talk a little bit about the methodology behind not only our SPY pouch, but our SPY kit as well. So this SPY, as our acronym that we use on a lot of our products, is Special Purpose Insertion Extraction. So that is a kind of a military term that harkens back to the old spy rigs that people would hook up with, and you would get pulled out of a situation by nothing more than the harness you were wearing and a helicopter that was floating by. So not that we're advocating that with this kit, but we thought the acronym was good because it is kind of an insertion extraction that we're trying to provide with the contents of this kit. So in an escape and evasion situation, which is what this kit was designed around, and we're talking about illegal restraint and illegal detainment, basically. So this is not a kit, and we've always said this back from the first time we sold this probably a decade ago under a different name, which I'll explain. But this is not to thwart law enforcement. This is not made to escape from law enforcement. This is purely made to escape from a mugging or a kidnapping or somebody holding you against your will that doesn't have the legal right to. So that's what these components are about. And it's also about providing the components that somebody in law enforcement or military would also need if they were in those situations themselves. So we took a look at it from that standpoint back when we've kind of the evolution or the history behind this kit is kind of what I want to get into as well too. So it used to be called the urban kit, and the urban kit because it's more used in an urban environment. Whereas basically the way I see this is that the flip side of this is the survival kit. So survival kit is more outdoor based. You're using things to start fires and to cut down branches to build a shelter and things like that. So this is kind of the urban version of the survival kit, if you will. Now there are some parallels, which I'll get into a little bit too, but the premise of this is to have tools that you can hide around your person that you can use to get out of different things that you might encounter. So a big thing that we talk a lot about is when I say escape from illegal restraint, I'm mainly talking about zip ties. So zip ties and handcuffs. So let me explain. Zip ties are something that anybody, criminal or somebody with ill intent, can go purchase at a hardware store, as well as handcuffs are very easily available on the internet or at a Army Navy store, if those really are a store. I'm kind of dating myself, but anyway, handcuffs are sold everywhere. I'm talking about law enforcement grade handcuffs, same ones that the guys carry out in the field that protect us on a daily basis. So when those kind of tools can be used against civilians, I've always taken the stance, and it's part of our DNA, that we like to provide the information on how to get out of stuff like that. And along with that information comes the tools to use too. So that's kind of where the impetus of the escape and evasion, or SPY kit now is what we call it, came from. So the biggest thing, like I said, is zip ties, and we include some Kevlar cord for that. So it comes in this little package, so it's easy to manage because it kind of gets unwieldy when it's open, but this is what a piece looks like all out. So the way that you can use this is that it creates a friction saw. So whenever you are illegally retained with zip ties, we have taught and advocated either a break method, so meaning to actually chicken wing your arms out and actually break the zip ties if you can get your hands around to the front. Some people can do it in the back too. And we're talking about hardware store zip ties. We're not talking about law enforcement grade zip ties, even though some of those are available to civilians as well. Some of these methods I'll talk about also encompasses that too. So friction saw, meaning that you can create a bow line in either end of this, put it on your feet and toss this over the tie and basically bicycle your feet back and forth until the friction created by the cordage actually saws right through them and it'll actually melt the plastic of those zip ties. So that's why we include the Kevlar cordage. And then we've also got some line or some wire that we include as well. And I'm not really going to super get into the purpose of this, but I will say that it's really good for certain situations that you could encounter. So I'll leave it at that. That is included. More of that as a fight back defensive kind of posture that you might have to take in a escape and evasion situation. So then we also include a little folding razor saw, and this has both not only a little saw blade on it, but it also has a razor blade. It's just coated in black, so you can't really see that that's a razor blade, but it is. So that can be used for a multitude of things. The saw could be used to saw through something that you were bound with. Duct tape can actually be broken very easily, even if your hands are bound with duct tape. So we kind of go into that into some article principles that we have. So I'll try not to get too into the education side of things. I'm more showing the tools in this video, but I wanted you to understand how they all kind of fit together in this landscape. So then there's a diamond wire. So this is a wire that could actually saw through something like metal of a handcuff if you had to do that. So that is included. Then we've got a small ceramic razor blade. And a lot of the reason some of this stuff is included in the way it's made the way it is because it can hide a lot easier on your person and things like that too. So basically just a smaller version of a razor blade that's included in the FRS or the folding razor saw. So that is there. And then also it comes in a little cover too, so because it's pretty damn sharp. Also included are our handcuff keys. So these were made just like our little logo here, but these are more of a one-time emergency use key. So these can break off inside of a handcuff if you continue to use them over and over again, but they're more of an emergency key. If you want to get a metal handcuff key and have that on you, that's great too, because that could be used over and over again. But these are, non-magnetic and they're very easy to conceal. And then we also have a quick stick, an easy decoder, and a handcuff shim. So the quick stick is a solid or basically unbendable piece of metal, not unbendable. You know what I mean? I don't want to say the word, it's stiff, okay? That's what it is. So what's great is that you can put this inside of a keyway of a padlock and you can actually open the padlock or bypass it without having to pick the lock. Same with the easy decoder. This is a flexible, so flexible piece that actually goes inside of a wheeled padlock. So in the event of something where you had to gain entry into something or get out of something, you could encounter a chain link fence that's got a padlock on it. It could be a keyed padlock, it could be a combination padlock, so you got both. And then again with handcuffs, if they are not double locked, which hopefully you understand what that means. If not, we'll also link to an article as well. You can check that out. But so a handcuff shim is basically made to fit within the shackle of a handcuff, and it can actually wedge inside there and block the teeth from locking the handcuff, and you can just open the handcuff right up. So it's a little bypass technique on handcuffs. And then, of course, the compass, which is the more ubiquitous survival kit crossover to our spy kit. But it's a very well-made compass. We've been through a lot of these. Most of them develop a bubble that can impede the directional aspect of a compass. These are oil-filled. They're very good compasses. It's the best one we've come across so far, and trust me, in the 10 years we've been doing this, we've seen a lot of compasses come and go. This is the one that we like a lot. So not impervious, but will last a hell of a lot longer than anything else. So it's got a little glow-in-the-dark indicator, so you could find direction if you needed to, but it's not the same as having a full-on compass, but we're also talking about things that are easily concealable. And then we've got a optional, we're talking about including this at some point, but this is basically a concealment titanium set of picks. So one end is a triple rake, one end is a single rake that can also be great for wedging under a handcuff keyway for opening up as well. And then the back end of these also doubles as a tension wrench or torsion wrench. So you can use this while single pin picking or use this side while you're raking a single pin and tumbler lock. So that's what these are for. So those are kind of the complement of the kit. Now we have also designed a little pouch that's very discreet. It's small. It can be used to put on inside of a belt. So basically your belt would be here. This would go inside of it. This would come down. And basically this can be secured around a belt so you can easily access it and get to all the, the belt would be here. Easily access it and get to all the tools. So it's great for that. It's got some little individual compartments so the keys fit in a specific place. Got a little place for the compass. But again, the flat picks fit really well in here as well. So this is kind of for holding everything. We got a good picture of it on the site, so you can check that out too. But that's kind of where the cordage comes pre-packaged, so ready to put in this. It's not really, because like I said, can kind of get unwieldy. So that's kind of the carryover a little bit. So we talked about the compass aspect of that being the survival kit carryover, but as you get into a survival kit, you're obviously getting into larger items. However, a lot of people see survival kit items as important for escape and evasion too. which is why we not only offer our mini survival kit and our, I keep calling it urban kit, it used to be called that, spy kit separately, but they both actually can all fit inside of one of our hard-sided containers, which can be used to dig with as well in the survival situation. So that's actually my preference, just personally. I basically have the mix of those inside something like this because I'm less concerned about the covert nature of a spy kit being a civilian, even though I do have stuff and prepare for contingencies when I'm out and about and into the woods hunting, or if I'm in the outdoors, I prefer to carry something like this. It keeps it fairly waterproof. It's not impervious, but again, it kind of keeps it solid. It's a little bit larger container, but I usually have a backpack or a chest rig or something like that on. So either way, spy kit, spy pouch, wanted to walk through those and give you a little bit of history behind them, so hopefully I didn't ramble too much.